To some breaking news in Uvalde. In the past 2 hours, we learned a grand jury has been formed to look into possible criminal charges.
For nearly 2 years, the victims' families of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary had been demanding for more accountability for the law enforcement response that day.
Jason Wheeler is here in studio with these new developments.
Yeah, Chris and Izzy, we were just talking about this yesterday, and here we are 1 day later. This all comes just 1 day after, of course, the Department of Justice released its scathing report on the law enforcement response to that shooting at Robb Elementary. That report listing a number of failures. They called it a cascade of failures, and they offered recommendations. But the report did not recommend that any officers be charged with crimes. That wasn't the purview of this report. Well, this afternoon, ABC News has confirmed that a grand jury will look into possible criminal charges, including child endangerment. That grand jury convened today. They'll spend the next several months looking into the shooting that killed 19 elementary school students and 2 teachers on May 24th of 2022. The DOJ report yesterday listed several failures in leadership and tactics, policy, and training. It took officers 77 minutes from the time they arrived on campus to finally take down that shooter. The report said that lives could have been saved if officers had acted sooner. Now, attorneys told us that the grand jury could also be considering a charge of criminally negligent homicide. That is not easy to prove, that one, though. In the case of the Uvalde response, that would mean charging an officer not for what they did do that day, but for what they did not do. So we will see what comes out of this. The families of the victims, of course, have been asking for this grand jury for many months now, and here we are again, the day after this big report from the Department of Justice. The families are also waiting to file potential lawsuits or to substantiate the lawsuits they've already filed. A recent legal maneuver by the state, though, means that those families are likely to lose their ability to file those lawsuits against the state. As it currently stands, those families have 2 years to get those lawsuits in, and that deadline comes due in May. But just last month, the Texas Department of Public Safety appealed a judge's ruling to release the evidence file. They have to have that evidence for those lawsuits. And there's a lot in that file that we haven't seen yet. We found out, in fact, that the state has 2.8 terabytes of data it's trying to keep cloaked in secrecy.
That's more than 500,000 photos, almost 2,000 hours of 2-hour movies, and, about 300,000 Webster dictionaries worth of documents. Okay, that's the vast amount of information. And at this point, they're arguing every single stitch of information.
Everything?
Everything, including about the dead shooter who's not being prosecuted, should be kept under wraps.
That is an attorney who has been at the forefront of trying to get this information released to the public. She has seen a lot of this information, and she's trying to get it out there. If you scan the QR code there on the screen, it'll take you right to this early release episode of our Politics Political podcast. We put it out today. That attorney explains why she thinks the state is stalling on this case. If you prefer to watch your podcast, we know a lot of people do, you can also watch all episodes of Politics now on the WFAA YouTube channel and on WFAA Plus. Chris and Izzy.